Well, since all the other villains couldn't defeat the Avengers, I guess I'll do it myself. Avengers Infinity War, directed by the Russo brothers. The men that directed Captain America the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, and now this movie. This movie stars Josh Brolin as Thanos, and the Avengers. You got the Guardians of the Galaxy, the new heroes, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, played by Tom Holland, and Bucky the Winter Soldier. He shows up in the movie too. And basically the plot of this movie is Thanos wants to get all 6 of these Infinity Stones. And he has to gather them up, put them in his gauntlet, so he can snap his fingers and kill half of humanity in order to bring what he sees as balance to the universe, because he thinks that overpopulation is a problem and the only way to bring balance is to kill half of the universe, or in this case half of humanity. And it's up to the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the newer heroes, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man, to stop him. And this movie is awesome. Pretty much everybody in this universe, in this cinematic universe, shows up except for Ant-Man, Wasp, and Hawkeye. They're the ones that don't show up in this movie. Korg and Valkyrie, they don't show up in the movie either, but everybody else shows up in this movie, and it is a fantastic movie. I love this movie. And you can tell how much I love it. I got the gauntlet from Target. This was such an amazing film. The action was done so well. All the characters were given a good enough time to shine, even though there were a lot of characters in this movie. This movie really could feel overloaded, and yet it didn't, because they were able to flesh out the other characters in the previous movies. So when you go into this movie, if you've seen all the other films, you know enough about these characters, so you don't know, like, who's this guy, who's that guy. So it would be a good idea to watch some of the Marvel Cinematic Universe films before you go into this movie. This movie was awesome. I love this movie. Josh Brolin does an excellent job as Thanos. He knocks it out of the park. He is definitely the best villain in this universe. He may be one of the best villains, period, in my opinion. He's definitely one of the best villains, in my opinion, that I've seen in a movie. Robert Downey Jr. does a very good job as Iron Man. I really did like him in the film. Chris Evans does a pretty good job as Captain America. I thought he was very good. Chris Hemsworth as Thor, he was really good. Tom Holland was excellent as Spider-Man. He really does a good job in the movie. I really did like him in the film. I think this movie was his best performance as the character. Spider-Man gets a new suit in the movie, the Iron Spider suit, and that suit is awesome. I really like the Iron Spider suit. They do a really good job with it, and what the suit can do was awesome. The Black Panther was great in the movie too. I really did like him in the film. And then you have Peter Quill and Gamora. Star-Lord and Gamora, they are great in the movie. The chemistry between them is done very well. And the romantic chemistry between the Scarlet Witch and Vision is excellent. Scarlet Witch and Vision are great in this movie. In Captain America Civil War, the chemistry between them wasn't that good. So they did a better job developing the chemistry in this movie, and I did feel the chemistry between them. I thought they were really good together. The Guardians of the Galaxy, they all did a great job. They still had their great chemistry. And if you've seen the first trailer, you know that Thor is the one that meets up with them, and he's great when he meets them, and their interaction is really good. The comedy in this movie is done very well. There are some jokes that didn't work or that may have been a little bit over the top, but most of the jokes hit well, and I loved a lot of them. They were very funny. Thor gets a new hammer in the movie, which is a little bit of a spoiler, but I saw a version of the hammer as a toy at Target, so they spoiled it when they put out the merchandise. I don't want to say what the hammer looks like, but it looks really awesome. And let's talk about the members of the Black Order, Thanos' children. You have my favorite member of the group, Ebony Maw. He's the one that talks a lot. I really liked him because the way he was talking about Thanos. Oh, rejoice! Thanos has come! And he was like really kissing Thanos' butt through much of the movie. He was great. The skinny one with the spear is Corvus Glaive. I did like him in the movie. And Proxima Midnight is the female member of the Black Order. The big one is called Cull Obsidian. And he's very good in the movie too. I thought he was pretty good. And all the heroes really do a great job. Mark Ruffalo is really good as Bruce Banner and the Hulk. I really did like him in the movie. And Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, he was excellent in the film. I really did like him in the movie. He has one of the Infinity Stones, the Time Stone. The other stones, you got the Tesseract. The Tesseract is the Space Stone. The Ether is the Reality Stone, which the Collector has, Benicio del Toro's character. The Power Stone is with Nova Corps, and the Mind Stone is on Vision's head, and then the Soul Stone is the one stone we haven't seen yet. That stone is revealed in this movie. And when you see where the Soul Stone is, there is a big surprise in this when you see it. The surprise is so shocking. When I saw this character in the movie, I was like, my mouth dropped. It was like, oh wow, is that who I think it is? And this movie was so good. The best line, in my opinion, in the movie was done at the end, right when Thanos, after he collects all the Infinity Stones, he's ready to snap his fingers. That's when the best line comes up, in my opinion. The battle in Wakanda, that was done very well. I did like the battle in Wakanda against the alien army. And this movie was just excellent. I love this movie. So overall, this is just a really good film. There are some negatives about the movie, some little nitpicks, really. The subplot regarding Thor getting his new hammer, I thought that could have been cut maybe just a little bit. That part took a little bit too long, but the rest of the movie was done very well. I really like the fact that this movie got a good amount of time to breathe, unlike Justice League, which was in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was maybe a little bit too cartoony. But saying Avengers Assemble in the Avengers franchise is too cartoony? No, it's not too cartoony. You can't have it both ways where you put humor, too much humor in some of your movies, but not put the words Avengers Assemble and say that as too cartoony. No, you cannot have it both ways. Say the damn line! Overall, despite the nitpicks, I love this movie, and I'm gonna give this movie an A+. This is an awesome movie. Definitely check out Avengers Infinity War. There is one after credits scene, so stay after all the credits. And that's all I gotta say. This movie is fantastic. So definitely go see Avengers Infinity War.